All right. Good morning, all. Thank you for coming out 10:25 in the morning on a Friday at the end of a long week. Mike Dudas. I'm the managing partner and co-founder of Six Man Ventures, a early-stage crypto VC firm investing primarily at the application layer. We've invested in over 120 companies, projects, protocols, a huge number of them in the Solana ecosystem, and we've learned a lot along the way. And then personally, I've started a number of businesses myself, some inside of crypto and some outside of crypto. And I want to share a little bit about how to run a crypto business. It's absolutely different than running a traditional tech startup, than working at a consulting firm, you name it. So I'm going to drop a lot of bullet points, and the reason is I think maybe, 10, 20, 30% will hit with any individual, but hopefully there's something useful for everybody in this presentation. So getting started. Start with good people, particularly in crypto. It's a people-driven ecosystem, right? It's big personalities. It's for good and bad. I would say there's an order of magnitude higher level of sociopaths and an order of magnitude higher level of people who are doing things for the mission than in traditional tech. So you want to find those people if you're starting a company. Are they an animal? I mean, it works in any startup, but somebody who is going to go into the wild for you, with you, alongside you, has a tremendous amount of resilience. So many things in crypto are illogical. The market value of some crappy coin is going to be 100x the market value of yours. You need to be resilient. It's not always reasonable. You're looking for that person who can accept that. And you need somebody alongside you from the beginning who's going to be able to take those hits with you. What you're looking for alongside that spirit is people who are curious. So, it's so easy, and I myself am, can be snarky and skeptical. Like, humans are default skeptical and opposed to change. You're looking for the people on your team who are going to be curious, who want to solve, who want to find that solution to a problem that didn't exist before. They care about crypto deeply and aren't afraid to say, hey, I don't know, I actually don't have the answer. By the way, nobody has the answer. This is a new thing that's never existed before and is going to go out with you and with others in a collaborative way, sometimes not collaborative, and solve things. And the last thing is the right kind of friend, somebody who's going to be in the foxhole with you. This applies to everything. Like Six Man Ventures, it's a startup. We weren't VCs until I was 40 years old. And our partnership is 4 people strong, and it's the same partners for Fund 1, for Fund 2, for Fund 3. You want people who are the right kind of friend who are going to be in the foxhole. I started the news media organization, The Block, a number of years ago. We got attacked relentlessly by people like CZ, Justin Sun. I was sued, tons of money. You need people who aren't going to jump out on you when those tough moments are happening. Once you're started, obviously this is basic stuff. This is Paul Graham type stuff. Make something customers want. And by the way, you may not know what that is. So it's going to change. I can count maybe on one hand the number out of 120 companies that we've backed where the original idea is the ultimate thing that hit in a really big way. But what I think you should understand is the idea should probably target sort of fame or fortune. So crypto's a money industry, a money ecosystem. People are here, they want to make money, or they want to become big, famous personalities. You see it in all the personas, the traders online. They want to be famous as much as they want to make money. So those things matter. And then the idea, what we've seen is the ideas that are simplest, launch a coin for less than $2 on pump. The simplest ideas tend to be the ones that win. They're usually not magic ideas. And you'll find this out as you ship and iterate. The first thing you ship, it may not be used. The pump guys put out 8 products before they hit on the one that actually became their breakout. And if you aren't shipping, if it's not out there, if you're waiting for that perfect market moment, it's not getting used, and you have 0 shot at learning and winning. And of course, you don't need to be the first one. You can look at virtually any category in crypto, and the first wallet isn't the one that's winning. The first NFT marketplace isn't the one that has the largest market share now. The first on-chain perps DEX isn't the one that's winning today. This is obvious stuff. ultimately, especially in crypto, be yourself. What do these 5 folks, who we probably know all their names, have in common? Not a lot, let's be perfectly honest, but they are so comfortable, each one of them, in their own skin. I know all of them personally, extremely different. Inauthenticity is the one thing that will absolutely destroy you in crypto. You have to be yourself. People sniff it out. If you're not, and you're gone, or you're probably doing something illegal and you blow up. All right, we've launched. Let's ride the wave. So crypto companies have a number of key choices to make, and they tend to be different than like how traditional companies think about these questions. So where should I have my headquarters? Well, there's a bunch of legal, regulatory, availability of talent, taxation, just a bunch of things that traditional companies don't always have to think about. You have a question from day one: what should our regulatory approach be? Should we go out and get licenses? Should we do this as kind of a truly decentralized business with just our own hosted interface? Should we even host an interface? Which chain? Solana. But basically, what I would say about the chain question is you're not going to win by virtue of what chain you're on, but you have a chance to lose. And obviously, Solana gives you a chance to win. There are 98% of chains out there where you're starting, if you launch in them because of a grant or something else, you're starting at a massive, massive disadvantage. So anyway, don't let the chain choice be your failure. Solana is a very, very good, safe, performant choice. And next question, should I launch now? Yes. And if you are, you better go all in, because as we know, crypto cycles are just ruthlessly fast, okay? Metas change in days to weeks, and you need to be out there with a brand, a product, a team, and a community changing fast. Should I go global? This is very personal and specific to the business you're in, but you can go global in a way that many other startups can't, so the default should be probably with these open networks. All right, let's get into actual operational stuff now that you got the business going. This is obvious. Just hire. This room probably has more people that you'd want on your team than the rest of Manhattan. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the network around us, the people here, and then friend of friends is a thing. I've worked on a number of community projects, LinksDAO, Bonk. Most of the superstars within our portfolio and within projects that I've worked on were users of the product and parts of the community, those really earliest, heavy, big lifters. And they have an inherent built-in loyalty to the other properties that we talked about earlier. I'm very averse to consultants. I know a number of people use them. It's really, really hard to hire exceptional people internally to important roles, but it tends to be worth every dollar and every ounce of energy. And as you know, the top CEOs and founders at great companies tend to spend a third or more of their time on hiring. You just can depend on those people. Secrets don't leak, and they really understand your product. While you're building, everybody's the CEO of the role. There are no excuses. You need to be able to get your job done. Things just move too fast. There's far too much uncertainty for you to be constantly coaching your team and each other. You want to be collaborating, you want to be talking, but you need doers and problem solvers more than anywhere else. Learn, adapt, or fail. The higher, I don't know, it's you definitely fire fast if people aren't living up to these properties. And then you really do want to reward people. This is a hard space. There's tons of friction. You're probably getting attacked externally a lot. It's really, really important to tell those people around you, your partners, when they're exceptional, when they have done something really special and that you notice it, okay? All right, crypto sales and marketing. The product is the marketing. This is obvious, all right? So basically, get your product out there, do tons of content marketing. Our portfolio company, Helios, does this incredibly well. Jito and other portfolio companies have been doing it better and better and better. They're getting involved in policy. They write about it. It is so important, okay? You're the PR agency. Don't hire one of these. I worked with them at the Block. I had them pitch me. They're crap, okay? And there's maybe one or two good ones. They're not going to take you on because they're getting paid by some $10 billion project. You need to do it yourself. Solve that problem. Not a portfolio company of mine, but Baxis does a great job, I think, of being their own PR agency, sharing their passion for the product, tweeting about it, and doing a lot of joint stuff with other people that looks like PR marketing partnerships. Sell right, okay? Know if you're selling, what is it, vitamin or medicine? Like, am I like kind of fixing something? Am I compliance and I'm like kind of medicine for a problem you have? Or am I an accelerant? You know, something like our portfolio company Tort that's helping Solana protocols grow. You're the head of sales as the founder until you're not. And by the way, you always are. So you are going to be selling alongside your VP sales. It's never their fault if you're not growing. And then don't mistake points market fit for product market fit. I won't name any specific projects, but you know, if you look at the broad Berachain ecosystem, there was like an incentive period that ended, and like the TVL on the chain literally dropped by like $1 billion plus in a day. There was clearly points market fit there. Identify your tribes, so critical. So Solana is a tribe. Within Solana, there are different tribes. And you know, find those allies as friends, the folks who are composable with you, and really lean into that, okay? Lean into that culture and the people who are aligned with you. And again, telling your story helps you to get people who are aligned with you. So I'm very, very vocal, and I have very strong opinions. And it makes 25% of people hate me, 50% of people be like, it's kind of interesting, I'll check every once in a while, and 25% of people love me. I would absolutely prefer that to nobody knowing or caring about me. Listen. So lean in to your tribe, communicate, again, authenticity, reward them in real ways, and you'll see it when projects don't do this, when they don't share, the airdrop goes bad, whatever, they lose. Okay, land in the plane. So crypto operations. We just talked about how volatile an ecosystem crypto is, and crypto businesses have business execution challenges. They have blockchain problems, they have community problems. They're really, really complex. You have a broader group of stakeholders. Your job as a founder and as a team is how do I smooth things out? So from a leadership perspective, it's great to have complementary teams. You want, like in our partnership at Six-Man, passionate, fiery Dudas, and then COO Serge, and really thoughtful technical guy Carl. Like, we really are complementary, and it helps us like stay sane when I'm making them insane. Stable treasury. I saw a VC say, hey, if you're not putting your treasury into the coin of your ecosystem, do you really believe in it? Hell yeah. Like, if you run out of money because the price of your Ethereum went down by 65%, like, you're an idiot. Don't do that, okay? Have a sufficient amount of your treasury in stable coins because you're operating a business that has to exist regardless of the macro price of the asset that your business is funded in. Smaller is better in hiring. We've just seen always better if you have the right people in the right place to have somebody do a little bit more than their stated role than hiring too fast and then having to lay off a quarter of the team. That just kills morale. Raising too much money is bad. And by the way, you've seen with a number of companies, I'll just use the pump example again, raise less than $3 million to get a lot of these new like social apps that you see, but even like stablecoin wrapper businesses, you don't need $25 million out of the gate, and it becomes a cudgel because then you don't have many options if you need to exit. And so tokens, the one mistake I see over and over again is founders who think that their token treasury is like a really predictable and reliable part of the runway. It's really hard to get out of the tokens in your treasury, and it's obviously subject to price volatility, so honestly, count on cash and equity. Find the one killer app. I just can think of very few breakout, massive successful businesses in crypto that didn't have one killer use case to start with. Jupiter as an aggregator, Uniswap, dead simple swap, right? Hyperliquid, easy, perfect, great depth and liquidity on perps. Find that killer thing because the amount of money you can make in a short period of time to build a treasury to then do more things is incredible and unlike anything you see in traditional industries. Live by the token, die by the token, run out of time, so I'm just going to go fast. Look, they can help you survive or they can kill you. What we are moving towards is a meta of people want the token to have some value accrual mechanism, whether it's a buyback and burn, some amount of fees going out to token holders and stakers. I think that's the new normal, whether they're VC coins or whether they're your coin. But make sure you have value going back to folks, and make sure that you have a VC, angels, stakeholders who will really sit with you honestly and earnestly and have aligned incentives, aren't getting paid to give you token advice, who will help you. Creating enterprise value, there is some question about, hey, do I accrue value to equity or token? And then realizing value, your number one job is realizing enterprise value for all stakeholders. Don't lose sight of that. One big mistake I see is too much money going back to external stakeholders or short-term mercenary capital in the form of airdrops or 100% of fees too early in a business life cycle. You're trying to realize long-term value. Do that with your long-term aligned stakeholders. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.